Welcome to the After Shift Report. I'm Diane Rayner, your host, and it's kind of comical. I literally just did the whole video and went to hit end video, and I had never started it. There you have it. Well, today is simple. I mean, it is really simple. You know how there are times you have heard the same thing 100 times, but it just doesn't quite click with you. It just I mean, you kind of get it. You're circling it, but you're not really there to embrace it. I can remember when I was in high school, my algebra teacher, Miss Dietrich, I probably got on her last nerve fiber. I didn't mean to though, but she would sit there and put everything on the board, and I would say, Miss Dietrich, could you say that just a different way? And she was very upset with me. Like, it's right here. It's right here on the board. I don't know why you don't get it. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's there, but for some reason that's not clicking with me. Could you just say it a different way and maybe it'll come to me? It's right here. Well, needless to say, I struggled a little bit with algebra, but I figured it out, so all is good. But the point is, there are just times we hear something and it's just like, oh, man, that makes sense. And so the other night I was watching this movie and it was so good, and it was everything that we as coaches really try to help our clients obtain, but it was just said in a little different way. And so I'm like, I just really felt in my heart that somebody needed to hear how this message went. And the movie is called 7 Days in Utopia. And Robert Duvall's in it, and I cannot remember the name of this other actor. He's a younger fellow, and he played in Fast and Furious and some football movie where he was a quarterback. Anyway, the younger man is a up and coming golf player. And his dad has trained him since childhood and pushed him and pushed him and pushed him, even when it was dark or raining. No, you go hit you a few more. And there was a lot of pressure on him from his father. And so at this tournament, he's up against this big time player, and there was so much pressure on him, and his dad didn't agree with the he was dad was his caddy, if I didn't say that. His dad didn't really agree with which puck or driver he was trying to get or use, and so he kind of had a little moment of argument with him. And of course, it didn't go well, and the young golf player had a complete meltdown. He took his driver, he threw it in a pond, and he stomped it. He just had a real temper tantrum and a breakdown. It was not pretty, not his finest moment. So he leaves, gets in his car, and he is just speeding away in the middle of Texas, and he's out in the middle of nowhere. And all of a sudden, oh, what happens when you're out in the middle of nowhere in Texas? There's a big cow on the road. And he slams on his brakes and turns and misses the cow, but he takes out a fence or two and wrecks his car in the process. So enters Robert Duvall on his horse and check and make sure he was okay. Now, in Robert Duvall's prior to being a rancher life, he was a very good golfer and was on the tournament on the tour and won many games and awards and what have you. So he just kind of just gently asked questions and kind of got to what happened, and then they saw it posted all over the news what the actual scene was that happened. So Robert sat down with him and said, they're in this town called Utopia. I should have mentioned that. And there's like 350 some people in there. It's a small community. And Robert said, if you'll stay 7 days in Utopia, I'll make you a better golf player. So the young guy does. And the lessons, I mean, he's thinking he's going to get help on tips on how to actually swing the club or what have you. But no, the lessons are so different. Like, the first lesson was just, I want you to think about why you grab your club with your left hand and why you grip it the way you do. And he's like, well, I don't know why I do it. He's like, well, you should know why you do it. So I want you to, they gave him a little notebook and he said, I want you to think about why you do that and then write it down. And he left. And the kid's like, well, that doesn't seem much like a golf lesson, but he completed the assignment. And then like the next day, Robert Duvall has two easels set up in the golf course, and there's a huge, I mean huge tree. And he's like, I want you to figure out how you would hit your ball and get it past that tree to that hole over there. And then I want you to paint it. And Robert leaves him. And so he has to study it, you know? He really has to look at, well, how would I do that? And if I did this, would it get me? So he really had to be with the process, be in that moment, didn't he? And so he did. He drew the tree and the course and a line about how he would make that his ball go when he hit it. Another lesson was just standing in a rowboat in this pond, I guess, and just balance himself, just balance and fly fish while he's balancing himself. So it was just lessons like that, and each one added to the other. At the end, I'm sorry, I've got my puppies here. It's too cold for them to go outside right now. So, Katie May, shh, Mama told you I'd be quiet. So, anyway, at the end, Robert's talking to him, and he says, what you needed to do was see it. You needed to see yourself doing what you wanted to do. And then you need to feel it happening, right? You need to really embrace and know you've got this. And then that was the last piece, trusting. And so, as coaches, we don't give you the answers at all. The answers are inside of you. We help unlock those answers through our questions and help you dig deeper into yourself. We have no idea what it is you're supposed to do, and so that's what we're trying to get you all to do is to see it, to feel those emotions around whatever the case may be. In this particular case, it was a golf game, but it can be anything in your life. You have a vision, something you want to do. You need to really see that in your mind, Katie. And I'm such a bad mom. Took all her toys from her right now. Um, and so, and then once you can see it and you can feel it, you have to trust what you've seen and felt and know that that's the process and it's going to come through. So it's the same message that we all, in one way or another, are trying to help our clients. But I love the analogy in the movie. And as I was watching it, it just, in my heart, I thought somebody needs to hear that. So that's what I'm sharing with you today. See it, feel it, trust it. And Robert Duvall wrote on his golf balls SFT. And that was something as he went on into the next tournament, which of course he won. He had written that on his golf ball, SFT. And he paused each time, focused. He saw it happening. He could feel it in that moment. And then he just trusted that he knew what he needed to do. So I hope for somebody that turns a light bulb on. Like yeah, now I see it. I get it. And just embrace it. So I hope that is helpful to someone who needed to hear it. Have a great rest of the week. Bye for now.